Hey, on this beautiful sunny Saturday morning in Sydney, we've got a lava loon raid to start the day. This is an interesting raid in three ways. First is, I think it's a really interesting raid in that it shows how you can use your spells to direct your air attack, and particularly to focus your air attack in on your mortars. So not mortars, in on infernos. Second interesting thing is this was a really common base a little while back, or a version of it anyway. The fact that it can be 3-starred is pretty attractive because it's probably going to come up in some clan wars, particularly the sort of mid-level clan wars. You'll probably see this base around. The third thing about this attack, this was a clean-up attack, so a couple of people had a crack at this base, and people were having a bit of trouble with the clock. And you'll notice in the raid that I actually run a couple of things in parallel. Basically what you can do is, if you can do with GolemLavaloon, if you can do your air defense and queen kill in parallel with your air launch, you can gain a lot of time on the clock and sort of take the clock out of the equation. The advantage of doing that is if you do it fast enough and time it okay, you can actually save your king or your king, so your queen, or your king and your queen, because the loons will come across having taken out enough defense, and you might score yourself a hero, which will make the 3-star much easier. So let's have a look at the raid. So starting the raid off with this base, it had a 223 CC. Just a giant would pull it all out and do the job in terms of getting the full CC out. Lots of skeletons. Now, interesting one on sort of how to do the CC kill with witches and lots of skeletons. The way I chose to do it, and there might be better ways, but the way I chose to do it is use barbs to draw out the witches and separate the archers, and then surround the witches and wizards and archers with a couple of minions, and use that to take out the CC, and then let them clean up the skellies. Now, because I was a little worried about the clock, I let them clear some of the skellies, but I didn't actually clear all the skellies. But it probably would have been smarter to let them clear all, just because skeletons can cause havoc. Now what I've done is I've broken the wall in the corner, I've dropped my king and my queen, and then at the same time I've dropped my lavas and my loons. Notice that I've dropped my loons really wide and across the base, so that way if you drop them too narrow, they'll go, say, to the center and then work their way to the side and zigzag the way across the base. You need to make sure your drop is wide enough to cover all the defense. Now this is the interesting bit of this raid, and I will use this a lot now, is I dropped 2 rages sort of at the corners. I should probably drop this one a bit further in, so it covered a bit the mortars, but I dropped 2 rages at the corners. And what that did is the balloons came through fast here, cleared out the defense, and that sucked them into the middle to take them through the center of this base. So it's got a little of a non-defense buffer here. So that works really well where you've got this non-defense buffer. If you take them through the corners, the loons will all rush through here and then draw into the center where there's more defense, and then you can raid through the middle, and that's a really good way of tackling this base. So 2 corner rages, that'll draw them in, and then it'll come through this sort of funnel here. Let's have a look at how that works. So you can see what's happened there is the loons have rushed through the sides. The loons in the middle have been slower but have frozen there, and now everything will come back into the middle. The other thing you'll notice is, because I've launched the air attack simultaneously with the hero attack on the air defences, I'm gonna score myself a queen. The king's still alive here actually, or the king does die, and I've got my queen here, and the queen has barely taken any damage by the time the loons are a long way across the base. So I'm going to score myself a queen for all the cleanup. So the second freeze, you can see all the loons came through the centre, raged through the middle, and then I've just got this corner of the base, but I've still got my queen. My king died, but I've got lots of minions and tons of balloons there, so that'll do the base easily. And I did it with just under a minute on the clock remaining, so I did the whole raid in about 2 minutes and 6. So no time pressure, even though some others have had some time pressure. And the tip there is to, again, launch your hero, your queen air defense kill at the same time, or immediately followed by air raid. Don't wait for the hero kill or the queen kill to finish. Launch the air at the same time, and that buys you tons and tons of time on the clock. Okay, hope you enjoyed that raid.